46 local high schools compete in a tournament of knowledge for a trip to Europe on this year's hottest game show, Bay Area Quiz Kids. Brought to you by SBC, Oracle, the San Mateo Credit Union, and Samtrans. And now, the best host on the West Coast, the one, the only, Brad Friedman.
Thank you so much. Journey with us today on this very special episode of Quiz Kids back to an ancient time in an ancient land when the fjords were deep and blue and the boats sailed the sea armed with people like Odin, Thor, and what's his name? You'll ask me why. You'll understand when I introduce our teams. Over here we have the Mills High School Vikings. And on this side we have the Palo Alto High School Vikings. Let us begin with the collaboration round. Two teams called Viking, two captains called Chris. Is this Quiz Kids or the Twilight Zone? You know, whatever it is that you will be playing as a team in the first part of the show, and in this part, I will be asking a series of 10-point questions. If your team collaborates and your captain, Chris, gives me the answer that is correct, you will earn 10 points. But if Chris gets it wrong, then I will turn to Chris, and I will allow him to collaborate with his team, and I will allow Chris to collaborate if you get it wrong. So you will get the chance to steal those points away, and we'll go back and forth till the buzzer signals the end of the round. Good luck to both teams. Chris, Vikings. Chris, Vikings. It's time. The Vikings get the first question. These Vikings. A double reed instrument in the oboe family. It's pitched a fifth lower and is also about 1/3 longer. What is this instrument that, despite its name, is neither British nor coiled and made of brass?
English horn.
Correct for 10 points. Pally. Its composer was very much interested in Native American music and planned on incorporating part of Longfellow's Song of Hiawatha into one of its movements, but never did. What is this symphony by Dvorak, written in 1893 and inspired by his travels in America?
We don't know.
The Vikings don't know, but do the Vikings know?
New World.
That is correct, the New World. Mills, a famous example was in France, where because of Salic law, mothers would rule as this and not queen during the childhood of their son. What is this term for someone who acts as head of state but does not have the title of monarch, or a member of the board that governs the University of California?
A regent.
A regent is correct for 10 points. One constitutional amendment not ratified in 1789 said, "No law varying the compensation for the services of the senators and representatives shall take effect until an election of representatives shall have intervened." This was finally added as what constitutional amendment?
We don't know.
Don't know. Do you know?
11th.
It's the most recent. It is the 27th. The diode that goes by this term is designed to break down and conduct at a specified reverse bias voltage above 5.6 volts. Name this phenomenon that also occurs on mountain slopes between 25 and 60 degrees when the weight of snow becomes so great that it causes the bonds between its layers to fail.
Avalanche. Avalanche.
That's right for 10. The movie title characters Donnie Brasco, Ed Wood, Gilbert Grape, Don Juan DeMarco, and Edward Scissorhands were all played by what actor?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Christopher Depp. It comes from the Greek for nowhere, perhaps because such a place really doesn't exist. Give this name for a remote place where everything is perfect, a location sought in the 19th century by Robert Owen and used as a book title by Sir Thomas More.
Utopia. Utopia?
That's right, Utopia. When Oedipus gave up his kingdom, his sons agreed to alternate the kingship for a year at a time. But after the first year, one son refused to give the throne to his brother, starting a war that ended with both brothers dead and another man on the throne. Name the city where Oedipus was king.
We don't know.
Don't know. You can steal.
Thebes.
Thebes is right for 10. That is the end of the first round. Let's look at the score. Palo Alto has 10. Mills is in the lead with 60 points. I know what Chris is feeling right about now. We'll come back and find out from Chris himself when we come back. Back. Now, there are two ways that you can get yourselves down to Quiz Kids. Either you can find a guy named Chris, form a team called the Vikings, and come on onto the stage, or you can call us at 650-637-1936 and order your tickets. Just ask for our producer, Chris, and, well, okay, Liz. And Liz, who will tell Chris that you want tickets sent to you right away, we will do so. Chris Teresi, Mills Vikings. You got that first music question right away, but you are a musician.
Yeah, I play alto saxophone.
Alto saxophone. You got a big event coming up at Mills, don't you?
Yes, there's going to be the spring musical. We're doing the Fantastics. And, you know, I've been aced out of playing in the orchestra every other year. Because freshman year, there was a senior guy who got it. My sophomore year, there's a senior guy who got it. And last year, the orchestra was like 5 people and no saxophones. So I've been lusting after that position for years. And this year, I might finally do it.
I don't think there is an alto sax in the Fantastic score, but good for you. No, I'm sure they'll make one for you. You've also got a big musician coming to Mills, don't you?
Yeah, Maynard Ferguson.
Yeah.
Is putting on a concert in February.
Which is already done.
Yes,
so
in the
it must have been great.
Yeah.
Well, he's done this before, so you know it's going to be good.
Yeah, it'll be a great show.
Absolutely. James Shea. James, you are on the Dragon team at Mills. So I'm like, what does the Dragon team do? And they make a dragon.
That's right. We all combine powers and form one awesome dragon. And we perform in the Chinese New Year parade. And
you have a great honor this year.
Yeah, I am the head, and I get to carry the huge 26-pound thing.
Now, we know this has already happened, but since it hasn't really, you've done this before, haven't you?
Yeah, it's great fun, and get to have a nice big dinner afterwards.
I bet you do, and I wish you a Happy New Year, and I hope it doesn't rain too much.
No.
But you'll be protected.
Yes.
Todd Guerin. Todd, last time you were here, I kept telling you, because you kept saying, what is, and you kept asking, like that other game show, and I kept saying, it is not Jeopardy. But then I found out in talking to you that you've actually tried out for Teen Jeopardy.
Well, the Teen Jeopardy tryouts really aren't a tryout. They put you in a room with about 50 to 100 other people and make you take this 70-question test. Not multiple choice. And you need to only get 70% to make it to the next round.
That's nothing.
I unfortunately, when I was a sophomore, didn't get that far.
You didn't get that far.
Next day, I remember 5 or 6 I could have gotten right if I thought more, but
And even though it's nothing like that, so the question thing last time, you have no excuse still.
Hey, I thought, I practiced and I was like, okay, I need to say what is.
Okay, well, don't. Don't. I'm giving you an even harder time this time. Let's give a hand to your coach, Joe Teresi. Chris Lewis, captain of the Palo Alto Vikings. The Palo Alto High School paper is justifiably famous. They've been around for over 80 years, and they're considered one of the finest school papers in the country, aren't they?
Well, yeah, I certainly consider them that.
And you're the editor-in-chief.
Yes.
How many editor-in-chiefs are there?
There are 6.
Because it's a huge staff. How many did you say? 80 people?
It's 60 people.
60 people. And you put out an issue every 3 weeks. It's a pretty thick paper? I mean,
it's usually 18 to 24 pages.
And Pally's a pretty big school, so there's a lot of activities there, plus community events and maybe some world events that you cover. It must be a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, actually the 6 editors and we have to divide up all the stories and assign them to each person, and then we get to edit all the stories and
make it perfect.
And teach the class yourselves. So.
Oh, yeah. We also should make lesson plans. And
Good for you. Yeah, I'm glad. Daniel Riff, you are the president of JSA, Junior Statesmen of America. They've got a winter conference coming up, right?
Yeah, we have Winter Congress coming up in a few weeks, and we made our bills, and we have to send them in and hope for the best.
And then y'all talk and see if the bills will go through committee and
Yeah, they go through
and
the
be presented.
committee, and then they have to go through the House and the Senate.
Okay, well, good luck to you with that. I hope it's a wonderful event. Jonathan Steinman, you were a semi-finalist for the Intel Science Talent Search. Congratulations. And I asked you what it was for, and you said you're separating DNA into nanochannels. Fabulous. So I thought we'd open up to questions from the audience. If anyone has a question about nanochannels or the DNA separating thing, would you? Okay, they don't. But congratulations, that sounds so intriguing and scary. Nanochannels are very tiny.
Yeah. 250,000 into the width of a hair, single hair.
See, even I didn't know that. Let's give a big hand to your coach, Matt Sheehan. I could talk about this for hours with you, but I'm giving the wrap-up signal. Let's give a big hand to our judge, Mr. Frank Saboti. Stick around. We'll come back and play more Quiz Kids. Let's play the lightning round. You know, Jonathan's going to find out this week if he goes to the next round. If he does, he goes to Washington and meets the President of the United States. So we wish you very good luck on that, Jonathan. These next questions are worth 10 points, but you will be playing with those buzzers in front of you. Buzz in when you hear the question. The first person to do so gets to answer for the team. Give me the right answer, you get 10 points. Give me the wrong answer, the other team gets to collaborate and give me the right answer and steal those points away from you. If you buzz in before the question has been finished, you will have to give your answer with the information you've heard. Give me the wrong answer, I will complete the question for the other team. It is 60 to 10. So I know you guys want to make some points here. So let's go. Good luck to both teams. To what country would one visit if they wanted to see the cities of Pasto, Mocoa, Cali, Cartagena, Medellin? Yes, Jonathan.
Spain.
No. And Bogota.
Colombia.
Colombia is right. They were first discovered by Robert Weinberg at MIT in 1982. What are these genes that increase the chance that a normal cell will develop into a tumor cell and thus cause cancer?
Oncogenes.
That's right, Jonathan. He leaves Pensy Prep, likely based on the... Yes, Todd.
Holden Caulfield.
That's right. The earliest ones from the 4th century BC were found in Macedonia, and the most prominent examples are found in Byzantine art. Made up of yes, Chris?
Mosaics.
Correct. Give the technical term for your windpipe through which oxygen... Yes, Chris?
Trachea.
Correct. He was put in charge of a field hospital during the Second Battle of Ypres in 1915. Name the Canadian doctor and poet of World War I who wrote In Flanders Fields. John McCrae. He tried to set up a confederacy of Indian tribes until his followers lost the Battle of Tippecanoe in 1811. Name the Shawnee warrior aided in his efforts by his brother, the Prophet. Yes, Chris?
Powhatan.
Nope. You can steal, Pally, if you give me the right answer.
The Washington Redskins.
I'm sorry, it looked like that, but actually it's Tecumseh. Holy Toledo! He died in 2005 after a long career as a Bay Area sportscaster.
Bill
Daniel?
King.
That's correct. French Impressionist artist Edgar Degas was famous not only for his paintings of ballet dancers, but also for painting what animals involved in sport?
Dogs.
Nope.
I know.
Horses.
Yeah, horses.
I didn't know.
In 2005, Procter & Gamble agreed to buy what large business that makes the oral... Yes, Todd?
Gillette.
Correct. Name the explorer whose letters detailing his voyages to the Americas around 1500 may have given mapmaker Martin Waldemüller the idea of naming the Americas. Yes, Todd.
Amerigo Vespucci.
Correct. Though usually characterized as wild and inhospitable, there were exceptions, such as Chiron, who was wise and kind. Chris.
Centaurs?
Yes. Based on a play by Victor Hugo, what Verdi opera features the famous aria? James?
Les Miserables.
No. Verdi opera features the famous aria La Donna Immobile. That didn't help, huh?
No.
It wasn't my singing, folks. Rigoletto. In golf, which type of club cannot have a loft of more than 10 degrees and is probably the only... Yes, Chris?
Driver?
No. And is probably the only club you'd use on the green. The putter. Name the British military officer who in the early 1700s suggested establishing an American colony between Carolina and Florida, specifically for debtors.
Raleigh.
No, I'm sorry, Jonathan. You can steal, Mills.
John Smith.
Cornwallis?
Oglethorpe. The end of the second round brings us to this score: 30 for Palo Alto and 160 for Mills. 150 for Mills. Thank you. Give him a hand. We'll be right back after these messages for the final round. Let's play the Extreme Lightning Round. Point values are doubled. The play stays the same. Good luck. Catch up. Scottish farmers who needed powerful animals to pull heavy loads developed it in the early 1800s. Name this large breed of horse, later combined with a second breed to develop the familiar white wispy hair on its lower legs.
Clydesdale.
That is correct, Jonathan. In the newest Harry Potter novel, Hermione likes Ron, but for most of the book, Ron's girlfriend is what other girl who calls him Wan? Lavender Brown. Name the legendary musician and former member of the Beatles who received 2 Grammy nominations for his 2005... Yes, Chris?
Paul McCartney?
Correct. What British chemist is credited with the idea that the pressure of a gas mixture is equal... Yes, Chris?
Boyle?
No. The pressure of a gas mixture is equal to the sum of their partial pressures. Chris?
Who was Gary Sheffield?
John Dalton. Ode to Autumn, Ode to Psyche, and Ode on Melancholy were all written by what British poet who also wrote Ode on a Grecian Urn? Yes, Chris?
Tennyson?
No. You can steal. Chris?
Longville.
John Keats. Give the value of x that satisfies the equation 20x plus 38 equals 11x minus 25. -7. He died of lung cancer in 2005 after a long career in journalism. Name... Daniel?
Peter Jennings.
Yes. What 2-word term for ceramic clay tile comes from the Italian for baked earth? Chris?
Adobe?
No.
Terracotta?
That's right. After leaving Fenway Park in a gorilla suit after the season ended and turning down a contract renewal, what former general manager who helped lead the Red Sox to the 2004... Yes, Daniel?
Theo Epstein.
Correct. In November 1942, the Allies used what operation to invade North Africa? Chris?
Torch?
Correct. It was planned by Pierre L'Enfant and surveyed by Andrew Ellicott and Benjamin Banneker. Part of the Compromise of 1850 ended the sale of slaves in what area of the United States that its namesake referred to as the Federal City?
Washington, D.C.
That's where you might be going. A set of Tennessee Williams plays will be released on DVD in 2006, including what classic that starred Marlon Brando as Stanley Kowalski? Chris?
On the waterfront?
Nope. Chris?
Streetcar Named Desire.
Yes! Stella! What adjective means both really clueless and an angle greater than 90 degrees? Chris.
Obtuse.
Correct. The hardest and most mineralized substance in the body? Jonathan?
Bone.
Say again?
Teeth.
I need more.
Teeth, dentures.
No, I'm sorry. The hardest and most mineralized substance in the body, what along with cementum, dentin, and dental pulp is one of the 4 major parts of the tooth?
Enamel.
That is right. What school's men's and women's team both held the #1 spot in the very... Yes, Daniel.
Yukon?
No, I'm sorry. What school's men's and women's teams both held the #1 spot in the very first college basketball poll of 2006?
Duke.
Duke.
You're just talking about Duke. Historian Gregory of Tours wrote the history of what people whose rulers included Sigebert, Chilperic, and Clovis? The Franks. Bays, harbors, and lagoons are examples of what generic term for an area where fresh water mixes with seawater? Todd.
Estuary.
Correct. What branch of social science studies the distribution of production and income among individual... Yes, James?
Economics.
I need more information than that.
Macroeconomics.
Say again?
Macroeconomics.
No, I'm sorry. What branch, the distribution of production and income among individual consumers, firms, and industries?
Microeconomics.
That is right, micro. This is the end of the game. We have 150 here, 270 there. Mills, you're moving on to the 3rd round. Gentlemen, thank you so much for playing. Have a great rest of the year. We will see you guys soon. Vikings rule! See you later. Bye-bye.
The following underwriters helped to make this program possible: SBC, the San Mateo Credit Union, Oracle, and Samtrans. Tournament champions will win an all-expense-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS. Additional support provided by these Bay Area newspapers: the Burlingame Scottish Rite of Freemasonry and the Knights Templar.